I've gone full screen. I've been told to wait 5 seconds and then maybe to start introducing myself. So it's 10-second mark. Hello there. I am Martin Hughes. I am the founder and publishing director of Melbourne independent company Affirm Press. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation, Better Reading and community. I love being part of this community of book lovers and readers. I love reading naturally, and that was why I became a book publisher. I just didn't kind of realize that once I became a book publisher, I would end up reading mostly manuscripts that weren't quite good enough to publish, at least not yet. So what an idiot. I envy you guys a lot, being able to read what you want, when you want. There's some comments coming through and I welcome these because I've prepared nothing. And if you ask me questions, it'd be great for me to answer them, because what I lack in eloquence, I will make up for in honesty. So if you want to know anything about being a publisher in Australia today, please fire away. G'day, Jane. Great to meet you electronically as well. So books, eh? I just went on holidays. I had a week away, and there's a lot of pressure. A week away. It's the only time I really get to read for pleasure, read for fun. So there's a lot of pressure on that week. And so I read 3 books on my week away, and one of them I was very disappointed with, so I'm not going to mention that. So that was a bit of a bummer of a start to my holiday. The second book was Colm Tóibín's The Magician. Now I read Brooklyn. Colm Tóibín's an Irish writer who I think is fabulous, and I read The Magician, and I gotta say I didn't love it. I kind of more admired it, but I definitely felt smarter for having read it. It's a book about Thomas Mann, and talking about being smarter is probably a good time for me to put my glasses on. Hello, everybody. Judy, Northwest Angle by William Kent Kruger. Excellent. I will try and remember that. Emma Fitzgerald says, hi, Better Reading, everybody. Hi, Emma. Christine Dudley. Hi, Martin. Everyone's in jolly mood. So the best book from my recent holiday, if you haven't read this yet, The Promise by Damon Galgut, get into it. It is fabulous. Fabulously original, fabulously creative, and really like clever, but not in a cerebral way. It was very warm and just really enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's also short, so even when there's only a day or two left on your holiday and you really want to make sure that you've read a brilliant book, you can get stuck into this and you will not be disappointed. See my little bookmark here, scrap of paper, probably not even a receipt. I wonder, do people dog-ear books anymore? Can you let me know? Or I don't even have a bookmark. I mean, it's pathetic. I'm a book publisher. I don't even have a bookmark. I use little scraps of paper. In fact, the shelf behind you, my bookshelf, I got that put in about a month ago. It's the first time in my adult life I've had a bookshelf, which I know is kind of pathetic. When I left Ireland, and I traveled for yonks and yonks, I got into the habit of reading and then giving away the books that I loved, and I kind of never got out of that habit. So I didn't collect books, and so what I've got up there from the is basically just what was lying around from the past month. So I've got a bookshelf, and next aim is to get a bookmark. Let me see the comments. Sally asks, how do you decide when a manuscript is ready to be published? Well, basically, Sally, when there's no more you or your team can do to help the author realize their vision, that is when the book is ready to be published. I'll keep that short. Jennifer Ireland Cox, I just calling that out because I love the name. What did you say, Jennifer? Hi, everyone. Hi. Dana Anderson, that's a familiar name. Can't wait to hear what you have to dish, Martin. She's a new staff member of ours, and she's trying to stir shit already, which is a very good sign. Lee Jeffrey, good morning, Martin. Sharon, good morning. Where are you, Lee? It's morning time. Hello to you anyway. Yvonne, reading Family Matters by Ellie O'Neill. Let us know if it's any good. Emma Tingay, I love The Promise too. Thank you. That's one vote of endorsement from me. Hello, Jill says she does not dog ear, she uses bookmarks. And I got a sense from the tone that she thought the very notion of dog earing was an absolute disgrace. Well, Jill, if you bought the book, it's your property. You can dog ear if you want. Stacey says, definitely not. I use a bookmark. But then she follows with an X to soften her comment. I like that. Jennifer, I know I shouldn't. I do have bookmarks. Mark says, welcome. I'm reading Canticle Creek by Adrian Highland. I never use a bookmark. I use business cards. It's the only good use for business cards these days, Mark. Good work. Karen, always use a bookmark. There's so many of you. What's going on? Kate's aghast. No, don't dog ear. I use shopping receipts. Shopping receipts is a good one. It's a good way to actually, for me, especially this time of year, to keep track of all the money I spend on books. I should put the receipt for those books in the books as a bookmark. And then when it comes to tax time, just go through all the books. Problem is I just get rid of the books. I don't know. I need to work out a better system. Jane is all caps. I do not dog ear. She's absolutely flipping out. I'm sorry I mentioned dog earing. Somebody mentioned it to me the other day. I thought it was a blast from the past. Must be. It's not happening anymore. Anyway, what about reading? Reading. I've got to better reading. How great is better reading? How great is it to be part of a community of readers? When I started the Affirm Press, actually several months after I started Affirm Press, somebody told me my favorite saying about publishing. Basically, as a business, publishing does not work on paper. And they're right. It's a ridiculous business if you want to make money. I mean, the margins are so skinny. It's sale or return. It really is. It's the worst idea if you want to retire early because it's not going to happen. But it's a great idea if you want to love what you do. And so book publishing doesn't work on paper, but it somehow works as an industry. And I'm convinced that the reason it works is because of people like you and me and other book lovers just sort of coming together and creating a sort of magic that makes it work. I just love being in this industry, and I love having someone like Better Reading to bring us together. And so, speaking about bringing us together, Better Reading's book of the week this week is The Brightest Star by Emma Harcourt. And I believe by some technical wizardry from a man called Dex, the cover should appear very soon, if it's not there already. Anyway, this book is it's about a woman with a passion for astronomy, and it's based in Renaissance Florence. In a previous life of mine, I wrote a book for Lonely Planet on Florence, the best of guide to Florence. I photographed it and I researched it, and it was brilliant. So I think that book sounds absolutely terrific. And there's another book that they're recommending. It's called A Map of Night by Kimberly Starr, and that is published by Pantera Press. And I don't know much about it, but I know it's about a female astronomer, and it's written by a woman called Starr. So that alone is surely makes it worth checking out. And it's a really nice segue to one of the things that I love most about my job. It's discovering great new talent. Last year, I discovered this author called Sean Wilson, and he wrote a novel which was very, very difficult to market, but I loved it, and I said, yes, I want to publish this anyway. You'll find out more about that in the future. When I got chatting to Sean, he told me about another novel he was halfway through writing, a book called Gemini Falls, which is basically, it's a historical crime book, but it's a beautiful novel, similar to sort of, it's kind of like Jasper Jones or How to Kill a Mockingbird. It's the story of a 14-year-old kid called, shut up, it's my dog, 14-year-old boy called Morris, who's sort of more and during the Great Depression in Melbourne, and he's more at home looking at the stars than he is with his family. His mom has passed. His dad is a very busy detective, and his sister's getting older, and you know how difficult teenagers can be. Anyway, Morris's dad finds out about a murder in a town called Gemini, where he was from, but he left under a cloud many years ago. He's sent back to the town to investigate this murder, and he brings his family with him. And from there, Morris basically gets involved in this fabulous story about a town's secrets being shaken up, and it's a lot of themes in this book that are very relatable to today. I would strongly recommend. It's not out for a while. It's Gemini Falls by Sean Wilson, and it is a beautiful novel that I highly recommend. I think it comes out in end of September. I think it's end of September. I recommend it. This could be one of those moments where you kind of see that you are at the very, very start of a huge publishing career, and you can feel some sort of ownership over the success of Sean Wilson, Gemini Falls. Available for pre-order, probably everywhere. If not right away, then very soon. I let go of the comments. What's going on? No way, no dog ears. Oh my God, there's so many. Right, there's so many. I recently finished Dinner with the Schnables by Tony Jordan. Pure delight, says Kate Solly. Well, I haven't finished reading it yet. It is on my bedside table, but I can guarantee even that it is a pure delight, because Tony Jordan is one of the most lovely women, one of the most loveliest people in publishing. She's done so many launches for us, so many favors. She's such a legend of our industry and a champion of local publishers. And I heartily recommend Dinner with the Schnables and everything else by the fabulous Tony Jordan. Shakespeare's Bookshop, fabulous Shakespeare's Bookshop say, buy a book from your local bookshop and they will give you free bookmarks from the publishers. We haven't, Affirm Press hasn't got a free bookmark. We better get onto that. All right. Karen Murphy, better reading is fantastic. It's taught me to appreciate a variety of authors and genres. Stacey's reading Life Before Us by Roisin Meany. Love her books, and I bet you're impressed that I could pronounce Roisin correctly, Stacey. Louise McLean, bookmarks. I was a horrendous dog eater when I was a kid. I'm reading Red Dirt Country by Fleur MacDonald. And speaking of dirt, I just finished Dirt Town by Hayley Scrivener, and it was excellent. I don't know where we are with these. There's so many comments. You guys are awesome with your energy and enthusiasm. What can I say? I think I've been talking a lot about books written by men, and so I wanted to celebrate two by women that are the best books that I've read in recent years. This one I'm sure you haven't heard of. It's a book called The Wild Laughter by Colleen Hughes, and a fabulous new Irish writer. And this is just fabulously inventive. It's a dark comedy, a black comedy about near contemporary Ireland after the Celtic Tiger economy had kind of had bust. It's fabulous. I highly recommend it. I cannot wait to read more from Colleen Hughes. She reminds me a lot of my favorite Irish writer, Kevin Barry, whose book, The City of Bohan, is possibly my favorite book of the past 10 years. And an Australian one is, I can't even hold these books the right way, Laura Jean Mackay, The Animals in That Country. It is a fabulous novel, again, darkly humorous, quite profound, really playful and inventive. And I can't remember what awards Laura Jean has won. I know there have been several, but I'm surprised at how few people have read this book. I often kind of speak to book lovers and they're not aware of it. And so I don't want to let this opportunity pass without highly recommending it. It's a fabulous book from fabulous local Melbourne indie scribe. So where are we at? I also grabbed one book from my brand new bookcase just before we started, which is kind of weird one, but it's very dear to me. I read this book by accident a few years ago. I was going to stay with my father-in-law. I hope he can't. I hope he doesn't see this this broadcast. My father-in-law in America, and he's a massive Trump fan, and we're always fighting over politics, even to the point where we've walked out of restaurants on one another. And my wife warned me for months before the trip not to get involved in politics. So I was on my best behavior, but I had to kind of get a bit of a dig in. So I went to the local bookshop, Barnes and Noble, and I I found the most provocative cover I could. How the Right Lost Its Mind. And my plan was to just leave it lying around the house for the whole time we were staying with my father-in-law. And because it was lying around the house, I started reading it. It's actually written by a right-wing conservative broadcaster in America. And it was absolutely fabulous. It's the sort of thing that I would not have read previously, because you kind of want to read people who think the same way as you. That's nuts. We shouldn't. We should always be reading people who challenge our ideas, because I think I learned more out of reading this right-wing commentator than any other kind of non-fiction political book I have in my life. And I don't know if it's he was just a very reasonable guy with some good ideas, and I thought it was fantastic. I'm blathering on, which is a big risk when I've got nobody to I can't see anyone's hand saying, "Stop talking, Hughesy, you're talking shite." So I'll go back to comments and see how we're doing. Animals in That Country won the Victorian Premier's Award. Fascinating novel. Thank you for the reminder, Mary Lou Stevens. Kylie is welcoming me at the end of the broadcast. Thanks, Kylie, for joining us. She's reading a dolphin called Jock, but almost finished it. Never heard of it. It sounds like it's a great title. Jell suggests suggestions that you balance the numbers, male, female authors. In my reading experience, or in what we publish. We definitely publish more women than men. And I would say that my experience as a reader, when I get the opportunity recreationally, is definitely fairly evenly split. It was just I just had a bit of a male run of it recently. But good point, Jill, and you should hold me to account. Any other comments, or has everyone left because they think I only read male authors? 2:16. Are we? So what's happened? Dex is 12-minute reminder. Doing great so far. Thanks, Dex. I don't know how we kind of end up this. Is there anything more to discuss? I will. Don't really have anything else to talk about, apart from another couple of male books, and I'm afraid to put them up. Although there is one that is the Hughes author a relative? Susie asked. No, I should have explained that. Colleen Hughes is not a relative, but I certainly wish we were related, because I'm a massive fan and I cannot wait to see what she does next. Jane Tara says, love this segment, Martin. Jane, you will have no idea how much I appreciate that comment, because after 17 minutes and 48 seconds of me rabbiting on, I have no idea how it's gone, if I'm going to be cancelled or what. And for you to say that you loved it, and the fact that I don't know you, means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you. Julie says, thank you for presenting. Love your accent. Could listen to you all day. Thanks, Julie. Feel free to give me a ring anytime and I'll just blather on. You can hear the Irish accent. Kate says, loving this. You're all so kind. I really appreciate it. It's 18 minutes. Jennifer Ireland Cox. Did you just make up the Ireland bit, Jennifer? Still here. I don't think you should be concerned about the sex of the author. A good book is a good book. I agree, but you should basically make sure that I think you should make sure, like politically, you should make sure that you're getting a balance of insights and experiences. Stacey says she loves the beautiful accent. Thank you, Stacey. I normally find that for 5 or 10 minutes I can get away with the accent before people realize I'm talking rubbish. Now I'm at 18 minutes 42, so I may have overdone it. Karen says, very interesting. Thank you, Karen. No questions about being a publisher. That's all right. It's not that interesting. Although we do get to read books before anyone else, and I've just been reading today. I've been spending all last night and all today. I've been working on a book, the memoir from Linda and Vicar Bull. It's called No Bull, and it's coming out at Christmas, and it is a ripper. I'm so excited to share that with you guys. All right, somebody's going to have to cut me off because I don't know when to end clearly. Dex, finish us off here. I don't know how to close it out. I've enjoyed this so much. Thank you all for supporting books and Australian publishing and Australian authors. And I hope Affirm Press will do right by you. And look forward to seeing you all in a forum like this